Ladies and gentlemen, I've done numerous segments on this. Reading public record, sources Daily Mail, female CNN insiders go ballistic over Don Lemon's alleged decade-long reign of... Then it goes into really horrible character attributes and goes into a lot of the things that he's allegedly done at CNN. New York Post, CNN's Don Lemon appears to slight Jon Stewart during hot mic moment. And there's a Fox News article on CNN going after management. He had an issue Don Lemon going after management. He had an issue a couple months back with a female co-host. It's only a matter of weeks, months, days. They're going to be firing him very soon. Now, he's a multimillionaire. He's made millions upon millions on CNN, pumping, false, derogatory, demeaning news stories about Trump, serving as an extension of the Democratic Party. See, news is now entertainment in the United States of America and opinion. When you type in H.A. Goodman on YouTube, you're getting my viewpoint. I'm not CNN, the trusted name in news, although I've been published in a whole bunch of places. I look at public record sources, Daily Mail, New York Post, and then give my viewpoint and my opinion, okay? A person like Don Lemon thinks that he's being objective, apolitical. So his theatrical performance is that there is no bias there, that CNN and MSNBC are apolitical. The ladies at The View aren't left-wing or lifelong liberal Democrats, will vote blue no matter who. They're, honest, good, normal people. So what takes place today is left-leaning pundits will pretend that they're really apolitical and that their viewpoints, their sensibilities are actually reality. So when Don Lemon says that, Trump is a menace to society and Trump is the most horrible monster that's ever lived, that's obviously just, according to CNN, just reality. And then they market themselves as, not unbiased, apolitical, completely objective. The spin is the entertainment. So you watch this channel, hopefully it's entertaining also, but I don't make absurd leaps of logic. People who don't like me might say that I do, but I really don't. I look at public record. You can look at the New York Post reporting. You can look at ABC News, Reuters, the indictment on Trump. There's no federal crime there. They're relying on an FEC violation that didn't exist. Alvin Bragg didn't even put the federal crime within the indictment to boost the misdemeanors. So it's pretty obvious what they're doing, okay? Whether you like Trump or dislike Trump, it's not a strong case. The objective viewpoint on that is that they're just going after Trump because they despise him. While actively, this is where you could say, that's biased. They're covering up criminal behavior on their political side, which is pretty obvious. You could say that's a biased viewpoint. You could say it's partisan. But like Christopher Hitchens says, being partisan, you could be right in part. You could be on the right side of history and partisan. Which, if you look at who is trying to censor, who is disowning friends, who is in family, who is wants a information governance board, who wants to regulate your speech, who wants to erase the First and Second Amendment or redefine the First and Second Amendment through the sensibilities of morally superior liberal Democrats. It's not Trump. Okay? Hit subscribe to this channel right now. Kind of all over the place, but they're pretty much tired of Don Lemon because you look at all the people at CNN, whether it's Brian Stelter or Chris Cuomo, all of these people made a living through entertainment masquerading as objective news, which was completely just biased, opinionated, partisan coverage. Okay. You could say, well, if Fox News does the same thing, well, okay, but there are people who don't like Trump at Fox. There's nobody that dislikes Biden at MSNBC or CNN or the Washington Post, the New York Times, Atlantic, Vanity Fair, Esquire, Rolling Stone, Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert. There's an entire monstrosity. They can make the most absurd statements and get away with it. Like, I love Bill Maher. I think he's fantastic, but he makes, like, I just was watching him on YouTube, and he made absurd statements about Trump. Oh, Trump tried to overthrow the government. It was obvious. Well, then why wasn't he indicted on that? He was indicted on a crime that the FEC didn't fine him for. So he didn't try to overthrow the government. He used the word peaceful. He did not tell anyone to commit a criminal act. He did not devise or organize a plan to overthrow democracy or the U.S. government. These are absurd, outlandish, stupid statements. So an intelligent person like Bill Maher, who's actually, like, at least he has, in his view, the best interest of the country. I don't think the average host at MSNBC or CNN has the best interest of the country. I think that it's entertainment. And in terms of Don Lemon, they don't know, like, he had a primetime show, and then they moved him to a morning show, then that didn't work out. And now every day there's, like, this huge controversy regarding, what's going to happen to him. It's only a matter of time before, like, Brian Stelter and Chris Cuomo and others, he's no longer at CNN. But see, again, that is, they've reached a point of diminishing returns. You can indict Trump. He's like the Obi-Wan Kenobi of politics. He only gets stronger. He only makes more money in terms of fundraising. His poll numbers are only elevated. Why? Because there are a million people like the average CNN host and MSNBC host. In media, in journalism, there's only animus and contempt towards Trump. There is zero objective analysis. There's not one positive. There really hasn't been. You can count maybe on two hands or maybe one hand how many positive articles there have been about Trump in 7 years within the Washington Post, Times, Atlantic. I don't even think if the Atlantic has ever published, or Vanity Fair, Esquire, Rolling Stone, or the New Yorker, New York Magazine. I don't think they've ever even published a positive article about Trump. By the way, go to Contact Goodman88 if you want to become part of a newsletter at gmail.com. Contact Goodman88 at gmail.com. To read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, and other publications, go to hagoodman.com. And I just repeat myself. And to my super thank you that's below, the next to the like and the share buttons, the Patreon is below as well. But Don Lemon has made millions upon millions spewing lies and half-truths and, allegations, real absurd leaps of logic about Trump. He was in some way part of the Jussie Smollett story. There's so many examples of the average CNN journalist just distorting the truth. And then they emphasize truth. I mean, this is a political, they emphasize Trump lying, and all that media has done, all that they've done is lie about Trump. Trump was never a Russian operative, yet that's all that you heard about on CNN and MSNBC. He never committed crimes in Georgia or with classified data or any of those things. They investigate Trump because Hunter and Joe and Hillary did commit crimes, but Democrats, there's two standards. Some Democrats are above the law. I think Hillary Clinton is going to be the 24 nominee. I really do. I don't think anything's going to stop her. And then you'll see the same thing that happened in 2016, CNN and 2 years ago. All of these networks will say that Clinton will protect democracy, that Trump is a tyrant and a despot, as Clinton and Democrats will have virtually complete control of the media narrative. Intel agencies will back them. Everyone who is hawkish in terms of military and foreign policy will back them. And Trump, you look, who is the anti-war candidate? It's Trump. We had record low poverty with Trump in 2019. There's a reason that if you want to call it the system, doesn't like Trump. Anyway, give me your thoughts below. It's only a matter of time before they do end up firing him, and he doesn't care. Don Lemon's a multimillionaire. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right